to yet another custom showcase on the RF Studios channel. Now we have the first winner of the poll. And now I say that because if you've been paying attention to my Instagram polls, which you should, because that is how you vote for what figure comes up on a custom. The poll was actually 50-50 for my custom Shatterglass Optimus and the custom Megatron that I have. Now I'm doing him first, and then right after this video I will be doing the next one. So you'll probably see him first, and the other Megatron, but they are actually filmed back to back. So on the cusp of this, as you can tell by the figure itself, it is using the base model of Beast Hunter's Optimus Prime from Transformers Prime. Now the inspiration coming for the custom itself is from two customs this time. It is actually DredgeX97's custom Optimus, which he based it off of the Crosshairs Productions original Broken Mirror Optimus. I took a little bit more cues from the DredgeX97 one because of the chrome plating, and now that's supposed to represent like a chrome armor. I got this because I was scouring through my grandparents' house from when I was a youngster, and I found he was pretty much completely blacked out when I actually found him, and he had no shoulder pads or anything like that, and the wing was quite chewed up. I'm pretty sure when I was younger, my dogs ate his wing. Now that actually comes into the story. That will come into the story. That damage will actually have a factor in Shattered Timeline, and I'm actually quite proud of how I've done it. So the reason behind why this figure is involved is purely for the fact that during the pre-production of Shattered Timeline, I was originally, when I was filming, I was originally using this, which is the Dark of the Moon Optimus Prime here. He was originally going to be used as Orion Pax, or the early Optimus Prime before getting upgraded to the Generation Selects one. Now, if you can see that I'm holding him up, because when I do this, he flops like that, and his knees are just absolutely dreadful. So, he has been demoted to the archive shelf, as I like to call it. So, when I do a collection update, probably either in a couple months' time or during the end of the year, you'll see him there, but not on the Shattered Glass shelf anymore. So, he originally had Shattered Glass labels on him, but he doesn't anymore. So what I've done is I've actually swapped out all of his scenes for the Generation Selects Shattered Glass Optimus Prime. And when it came time to upgrade him during the storyline, because there will be a shot where he needs to be upgraded for reasons that I will not explain because you just need to watch it. You just need to wait for the project to come out and then you get to see why. This is actually his figure that I will be using for the upgraded purpose. And there is a line in there particularly that I wrote and I completely forgot about that that made me change my mind on this. So this is taken, as I said, inspiration from Broken Mirror and from DredgeX97's custom Optimus Prime from Shattered Glass. Now, he was completely blacked out when I got him, so a little bit of the paint is still seeped through. I need to fix him up. A little bit of the paint just didn't work together and bind well. But we have a solution to that now, because I have this. Finally, I have my varnish, and you will see some of the customs coming up. So the Sentinel Prime custom that I have and the Megatron custom that I have been varnished, and oh my god, do they look fucking beautiful with the varnish. So everybody can be varnished soon, so I will actually work on these in the next couple months and fixing Treadshot, Megatron, and Optimus, and varnishing them up to make them look better. But for the time being, he looks like this, and I'm actually not too upset with how he looks, other than that little bit of red poking out on his arm right there. But to be honest, I'm actually quite happy with this, and he really stands tall. So I'll show you how he stands up against his other body, and then just so you can kind of see how he is. He is a bit floppy in the knees because those joints don't work as well. The joints don't work as well as they used to, but it's okay. Now the purples don't match up exactly. But I'm not too upset about it. I actually think that this one really encapsulates Prime, but this one really encapsulates him at his, like, peak physical strength. And the fights that I have planned for this figure alone, I'm actually really, like, excited to do it. And I've been doing a couple of the scenes with him as of recent. He doesn't have too many fight scenes in part 1, but part 2 and 3 he has some major fight scenes, so I can't wait to put that all together. So, while now, moving on, I do actually have guns for him. So I've given him the Combiner Wars guns. These came off of the Combiner Wars knockoff Bruticus that I have. And these will be his guns for the primary filming segment. And he also does have a blade, if I can remember where I've put it. So, just bear with me a second, guys.
6 hours later.
And I found the sword. So, it's the Revenge of the Fallen Studio Series Energy Sword, because I do have a broken version of that figure. But his energy swords do actually hold up quite nicely on this figure. So, he will use these energy swords through his campaign in Timeline. If I can get this off of him, because they are a snug fit. There we go. Anyway, so this is the main figure, and he will show up in part 1, so you will see him very, very soon once the filming is complete and once everything's all done. So, let's move on to vehicle mode. Okay, and here we have it. Optimus Prime in his vehicle mode. Now, it is the exact same as the original Beast Hunters one. Excuse me while I pop in his wing assembly there. Okay, it's just not going to want to tab in today. Fucking never mind. Anyway, ignore that. So, it's quite interesting to me that I've decided to keep... I could have very well not kept this figure and just gone and bought a new one, or tried to find a new one for the custom, but I'm actually happy to keep the damage that came from him when I was a kid. Not only for nostalgic reasons, but also it gives a bit of a story to the figure itself. So, as you could see on the front, I'll show it to you when we get him back into robot mode. He does have a missing grill piece here, and I'm half tempted to cut that off and make it match up with this one. Let me move it down. Jesus, I'm so stupid. That little piece there on the actual figure itself is actually ripped off, been chewed off. Again, dog. I had dogs when I was kids, and they hated my figures for some reason. But for the most part, I actually am quite pleased with how this turned out. Again, like I said, a lot of the paint has chipped off, and I had not, at the time, not gotten my hands on varnish, so now that we have it, I can sit back and work on them. So this is the vehicle mode for him. I can't remember if I've put it in the project itself. I know it's not in part 1, but it might be in part 2. I cannot remember for the life of me. But it is the exact same as the Beast Hunters, Optimus Prime mold. There is no difference in the slightest to this figure. It is, and I'm quite happy with how he turned out. Especially the chrome plating, it looks really good. I may be inclined to put an Autobot some Autobot stickers over here and over here, just in case my stickers are not far away. But to be fair, it's done really well. And for the fact that I got this figure when it came out in, what was that, 2013 or something like that? So I've had this figure for 13 years now that I think about it. Holy shit. But yeah. So let's get him back into robot mode, and we're gonna go for the end of the video. Right, and as I pointed out here, this is what I meant by the chip piece, which I might rip off on his vehicle mode, just for contrast purposes. But yeah, this is Shatterglass Optimus, and I really do hope that some of you, this helps some of you go to make your own Shatterglass Optimus, whether it be with this figure or not, because not everybody can get their hands on the Gen Selects version. I was very, very lucky to get my hands on this, and the only reason I have this version is just for the purpose of an update in Shatter Timelines. So, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and it gives you some insight into my customs, and a lot of them are based off of, you know, other people's customs, but that's just how customs work. There is a couple customs I have that are my own, you know, my own idea as far as I'm aware. Namely, my Sentinel Prime that I have is a custom that I decided on my own. The Shatterglass not Skywarp Jetfire that I have. As far as I'm aware, that's a custom of my own. It's not so much a custom, it's more slapping a sticker on somebody, but you get the point. So, like I said, as far as these two customs go for Megatron and Optimus, Optimus will be up first, probably, or Megatron will be up first. I haven't filmed Megatron yet, but I will film it quite soon, once I've finished this Optimus. So, when it comes up to again, go check out the Instagram and go vote for your next one. I also do post frequently on there. I post on my story about new figures that I get, so please, if you have questions for me, either leave it in the comments or, you know, go ahead and post it. You know, go and message me on Instagram. I do actually answer people if they text me on Instagram. But that is all I have for today, so please like, comment, subscribe, all that beautiful stuff, you know, the usual YouTube things. I'd like to do this full time if I ever could, but who knows. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.